In June 2025, Israel launched a massive airstrike on Iranian nuclear facilities, escalating long-standing tensions into open conflict. The attack killed key Iranian scientists and commanders, prompting Iran to retaliate with over 100 drones targeting Israel. For 12 days, missiles and drones crossed borders, pushing the region to the brink of a wider war. Global leaders scrambled to prevent disaster, fearing the conflict could disrupt vital energy supplies and destabilize the world economy. After intense fighting and diplomatic pressure, a fragile ceasefire was reached. The underlying issues, however, remained unresolved. Hostility and strategic rivalry continued to simmer. The 12-day war was a stark reminder of how quickly Middle Eastern tensions can ignite, with global consequences. The world watched, hoping diplomacy could prevent catastrophe. The ceasefire was only a pause, not a solution. News of the Israeli strike sent oil prices soaring as markets feared disruption in the Middle East. The threat of Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz, through which a fifth of the world's oil flows, sparked panic buying and a sharp price spike. Throughout the conflict, every new missile launch fueled market anxiety, adding a fear premium to oil prices. High prices threatened global economic growth, showing how events in one region can hit wallets worldwide. When the ceasefire was announced, oil prices quickly dropped, revealing how much of the surge was driven by fear, not actual shortages. The episode highlighted the world's vulnerability to Middle Eastern instability. Even a brief conflict can send economic shockwaves across the globe. Peace in the region remains essential for global energy security. The oil price spike during the 12-day war fits a long pattern of market volatility. In 2015-16, prices crashed due to oversupply from U.S. shale and Middle Eastern producers, hurting oil-exporting economies. The oil market cycles between boom and bust, with geopolitical events acting as wildcards that disrupt the balance. The Middle East's vast reserves mean any conflict there can shake global supply and prices. Past crises, the 1970s oil shocks, the Iran-Iraq War, the Gulf War, showed how regional instability triggers global recessions. Despite new producers, the world still relies on Persian Gulf oil and its infrastructure. As long as oil dominates, Middle Eastern stability will remain a top global priority. The 12-day war reinforced this enduring vulnerability. The U.S. faced a delicate balancing act during the 12-day war, supporting Israel while preventing a wider conflict. President Trump's administration backed Israel's right to defend itself but quickly moved to de-escalate the crisis. High-level diplomacy with Russia and regional allies aimed to contain the fallout and avoid a nightmare scenario for global security. The U.S. renewed its push for talks with Iran, setting a 2-month deadline for negotiations on its nuclear program. This strategy combined military pressure with a diplomatic off-ramp, seeking a solution without further war. Coordination with Israel was crucial, as any deal needed to address its security concerns. The U.S. worked behind the scenes to align positions and prepare for possible talks. The outcome of this American-led effort would determine if the ceasefire held or if the region would slide back into conflict. The stakes were high: peace or another devastating war. The world watched as diplomacy took center stage. With the ceasefire in place, the future of the Middle East hangs in the balance. The best hope is renewed talks. If Iran returns to negotiations, a new deal could ease tensions and lift sanctions. But hardliners on both sides may push for escalation, risking a cycle of retaliation and further conflict. The international community, including Russia, China, and Europe, has a vital role in encouraging diplomacy over confrontation. United global pressure could tip the balance toward peace. The 12-day war showed how quickly regional strife can threaten the world's economy and security. The coming months will test whether diplomacy can prevail. The world is watching, hoping for a lasting solution.